5 at noon is being brought to you by Insurance Corporation of Belize, serving Belize for 40 years.
Good afternoon, Belize. It's midday and you're tuned into the news at noon, where we bring you the latest updates from around the country. I'm Isana Cayetano and here's what's making headlines today. A new DNA bill could transform criminal justice in Belize. Transport Department and police team up for road safety training, and Hamanasi Resort celebrates 25 years of luxury and sustainability in Hopkins. These stories and more are coming up in just 1 minute.
When I was a student, ICB was there to protect me, ensuring my education and future. When I got my first car, ICB was there to protect me, providing excellent coverage and peace of mind on the road. When we moved into our first apartment, ICB was there to protect us, securing our belongings and giving us a sense of security. And when we got our first house, ICB was there for us, protecting our home and everything we've worked so hard for.
At every step of your life's journey, ICB is there for you. For more information, call 224-5328 or visit our nearest branch.
Welcome back. Could a strand of hair or a drop of blood become the key to justice? Last Friday, the House of Representatives unveiled a new DNA bill that could transform how crimes are investigated and prosecuted. If passed, the law would give police the power to collect forensic DNA samples from anyone suspected of an indictable offense and store those profiles in a national database alongside those of convicted criminals and crime scene evidence.
Just about 5 years ago, our administration committed to enhancing our country's criminal investigative capacity through reliance on technology and innovation, and in particular on forensic DNA analysis. The laws of Belize do not currently include any specific legislation to govern the collection and use of DNA samples in criminal investigation and in the identification of human remains, nor to govern the establishment and use of a national DNA database, which can be an extremely powerful crime-fighting tool. The introduction of a DNA bill is therefore very timely in order to establish a national DNA database and to facilitate the collection and use of DNA samples in the investigation and prosecution of criminal offenses and in the investigation of missing person cases and unidentified human remains. This DNA bill aims to achieve the following improvements to our criminal justice system as part of the wider reform efforts envisaged in the Needham's Point Declaration. 1. To establish and operate a national DNA database in a manner that respects a person's bodily integrity, privacy, and dignity, and that is consistent with human rights under the Constitution.
Supporters say it's a leap forward for justice. Critics warn that it opens the door to critical discussions about privacy and power. To understand what this means for law enforcement and the public, we spoke with Jian Cho, Executive Director of the National Forensic Science Service.
One of the main sticking points or the main things that would jump out at if somebody peruses the bill is the provision where a DNA sample can be collected from a suspect if they do not consent. Right now, as it is without the law, and one of the limitations for cases to proceed in the court right now without a DNA law is that we must obtain consent from persons when we collect their DNA sample. You may or may not know in some countries like the UK, you don't need consent. The police officers in England, in London, they can collect DNA samples without consent. We are not going that route where we have just a widespread collection from the population. We're still, the DNA bill still allows for consent to be sought first. And if the suspect refuses consent, then a court order must be obtained. And so the investigating officer must convince a magistrate that there is reasonable grounds to suspect that the person was involved in the committing of the offense, that an offense was committed first of all, that's in the interest of justice to collect this sample, balancing the interest of justice against the rights of the individual. So we have made sure that we've incorporated some of the other considerations from jurisdictions where you still need a court order before or consent or court order before a DNA sample can be collected.
The Transport Department is tightening the reins on road safety. They've just wrapped up a specialized training workshop aimed at boosting enforcement skills among transport personnel. This wasn't done in isolation. The Ministry of Transport teamed up with the Belize Police Department to make it happen. The goal is to build stronger collaboration and improve enforcement to make our highways safer for everyone.
What we have here are not just our national traffic personnel, but we also have traffic officers from the various municipalities, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that every traffic officer in this country